Hey everyone, welcome to episode 29 of X to Interact. I'm your host, Steven. I'm here with Eric.
Hello.
And our friend Gaff.
Hi.
And we're here to talk to you about gaming news. Now, if you haven't already, please follow us on Twitter to know what we're up to at x2interact_. And we're on every podcast service known to man, as well as YouTube. And YouTube, you get cool video references that we put in there. So if you're only an audio listener, be sure to check that out because we usually have some cool stuff in there. This week, we are talking about our Battlefield 2042 impressions. Sora's finally here in Smash. And some Metroid Dread impressions, a little bit of extra things. We'll also have a main topic, but I'll keep you guys in the wings for that. But first, I want to ask you both, will you still be gaming after the age of 65? And if you're going to be gaming after the age of 65, what do you think you'd be playing?
Sure. Well, I will be gaming after 65 because you're gonna pry that controller off my fucking dead hands. That's for sure. But what I'll be gaming? I don't know. That's a good question. Like, it depends. Like, what's around that time? Like, that's gonna be years from now, obviously. But like, maybe I'm hoping like, I don't know. They figure out some way like Sword Art Online, basically like you put a helmet on and that like you're in the actual game. I want something like that. I guess I don't know because I feel like controllers are gonna. Well, I don't know if they're gonna go away exactly, but like I feel like in my head, like, oh, it's gonna be the year 20, whatever the fuck. We're gonna be in the future and have all this futuristic tech.
It's like Ready Player One, right?
Exactly. But then again, I thought we would have like flying cars by now as a kid, so who the fuck knows? Yeah,
I think when you get older, you just start to realize that the practicality of a flying car, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, we already have enough trouble keeping the damn cars not hitting each other on land, so.
For sure. I was like hoping that hoverboards would actually be a thing because Sonic Riders, that fucking game was like
right?
That game was so fucking fun as a kid, and I was like, oh man, I can't wait for the future for this stuff to happen. And I'm like, no, that's not gonna happen anytime soon.
How about you, Gaff? What do you think?
Yeah, I'll play games as long as they keep making them, as long as they keep being fun. But who knows what games again look like in 40 years?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like movies have figured out their groove because they're pretty old, but games are very, very new as an entertainment medium comparatively. Yeah, it's just gonna be holograms. Yeah, I have no idea, man. So I feel like that's a pretty arbitrary question, but I'll try to keep playing games as long as I can.
It's meant to make you think, right? Like, hey, will we be in haptic suits? Or, maybe we'll be fighting over resources like savages because sometimes the world sucks. But...
because we'll all be underwater in 40 years.
Speaking of future, Battlefield 2042. Now, I played probably 4 or 5 matches throughout, but I wanted to kind of talk about that with, did you play any Gaff?
I played 1 half-hour match.
Okay. Now, I know it's not a huge sampling, but I wanted to kind of get your thoughts on, like, this one versus previous entries, and probably most comparatively, like, 4, right? How does it stack up?
So my Battlefield experience only encompasses Battlefield 3. Back in the 6 days. And then I played a lot of Battlefield 1. And I really, really like both those games. I have a blast playing them, and I love like the teamwork aspect, which is, I guess, like as a core tenet of the whole Battlefield franchise. The teamwork, all roles, and just how massive the maps are, and the fact that you have 64 players all trying to achieve one objective. Like, that's awesome. And now we're in Battlefield 2042 with twice the amount of players, and I'm very underwhelmed.
Yeah, that was kind of my takeaway. So after the first match, and they're kind of lengthy, right? I felt whelmed, and I'll explain, right?
Okay.
Not under or over, because there were some truly impressive things that are happening on the screen when you're playing the game, right?
Yeah.
You dive from the suit. I think there was like a squirrel suit, but I couldn't get it to work. Was there?
I never did. I just kept parachuting.
I just kept parachuting, and I thought there was like a squirrel suit, and I was trying to figure that out. But diving out of a plane into the thing was really cool. Or if you get up in top, they had one, the rocket, right? Where they're setting up, like you can zip line all the way up to this thing at the very top. And usually there's some asshat with a sniper up there, right? So you beat the shit out of him, and then I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm going to jump off this thing because I want to see how cool it is. And it was awesome. But those are not what I come to Battlefield for necessarily, right? Like, that's the fucking around part. And that's where I said, like, okay, I'm kind of overwhelmed as far as like an audio visual kind of thing. It looked great, it sounded awesome, and it kind of felt good, but I want to get to the controls real quick, and that's where it starts.
Hold on. It looks great.
I think so.
When it works.
Okay.
There are plenty of visual bugs in this beta, and I get it. It's a beta, that's the point. But I'm just saying what I saw. And lots of flickering shadows and bodies just like spasming through other solid objects.
Now you played on the Series S for reference, correct?
Series X.
X, okay. Now, arguably on that one, you shouldn't have that much any performance issues or little, right?
It wasn't performance issues.
It's
I
like
think
visual
it was just
bugs.
It was like part of the game. Like the game just itself wasn't displaying all its beautiful graphics properly.
Okay. Yeah, see, that's a different thing entirely, right? The optimization versus an actual broken thing.
Yeah.
I didn't see any of those. Now, of course, I was playing on the 1X, right? So the lower end of it.
Interesting.
And I didn't see any of that stuff. And maybe, I don't know, maybe people are saying, just as an off, that they need to delay it again, right? What? Real quick, I want to get your thoughts on that, but also on the controls. Before we get to that, the controls for me, it's not what I expected from a Battlefield, man. It was not tight. It was not there. Like, and everything felt no weight. It had no weight. Like, I can't explain it in a better way, I guess. But what do you think?
Yeah, it's weird. Shooting. I can't. It's nothing spectacular. It's shooting.
Yeah.
But okay, so when you sprint, I feel like you run really, really fast in this game. And like I'm so used to Halo Infinite, just like clambering over everything and just every object in the game being climbable. And you can't climb shit in Battlefield. Like, you can't even jump over a little rock, it seems. But that's just me being very used to Halo Infinite. But yeah, something feels off in this game. And I can't quite place my finger on what.
And now they said that this build was at least a few months old. That's their response to this.
And I accept that. I'm willing to give Battlefield the benefit of the doubt.
I am too. I really hope they can tighten in the controls. And I think that's really all it is. It just doesn't feel as fluid as I expect it should, if that makes sense. Especially after 5, which felt really fluid. And everything felt like it was supposed to, and heavy and weighted. And when you take a sniper and you shoot someone, it felt impactful. But for me, in my experience in this game, when I try to do it, it feels like I had the cursor where I needed it to, and even with bullet drop, it just would never get there. It wouldn't even get close to where I needed it to. And I don't know if that's my bad aiming or netcode, but something there just didn't feel right, and I hope they can tune it before full release. And to that matter, full release, should it be delayed? What do you think?
So it's gonna come out in November, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, because there's not gonna be I don't think there's going to be another beta between this and the release date. So we just really, really have to trust them that this current build is actually like pretty old and that there are like so many steps ahead in the current build.
Yeah.
It's a tough call, but delaying is never a bad thing.
No.
It's always a safer option. So why the hell not?
And here's the thing. With the track record in this team, you expect a certain level of pedigree, right? DICE does that thing really well. And when it felt off even a little bit, everyone noticed. So I think they should. I really do think they should delay it. Give me a Q1 next year. And that'll be out of the kerfuffle of the other two shooters. So maybe I'll have a better chance in that spotlight as well. And don't be like last time where they put their freaking property out to die like Titanfall 2. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Now, apples and oranges, of course, but still a shooter. Still something you need to take into consideration given the market out there. I think that's kind of wrap up my thoughts on it, but I
have
go
some
ahead.
One, and this could just be me sitting way too far from the TV, but I couldn't read anything in the UI. Everything, all the text was so small, and the map was like I couldn't tell what was on the map. Two, I think it was super hard to tell who was an enemy and who was an ally.
Yeah,
everyone looked the same. Everyone's wearing the same like dark green uniform. So the only way I knew an enemy was like somewhere around me was by trying to find like a red dot on my mini map, which again was super small, but maybe because I was sitting too far from the TV. Three, I don't know. I just really like the medic class in Battlefield 1, and I like that I could use a syringe to like revive every like down person I could see. I love being a support class, and like again, I only played one match, but can you only revive your squad mates in this new game?
I didn't. No, I think I revived a random person.
Okay.
If I'm right, I think I went up to someone. If you can only revive your squad mates, that's really dumb. And maybe it was just my squad mates I was reviving. But I feel like I found a number of different people I went up to and revived during it because I really like that.
Then I guess everyone was just respawning too quickly then. Which is a problem in Battlefield, like
right.
in of itself.
Yeah, nobody asks for things, but because nobody usually goes and revives them, and so you end up with this dichotomy of like, well, I don't want to wait for a medic because it's just not going to happen. Well, okay, I'm coming over to res you, but there's not a good way to indicate that, right?
Yeah,
I can't be like, yo, all right, I'll respond to that as a medic. Maybe have that as a prompt, right? Like someone's calling for a revive. Someone can press it, and you're like, all right, cool, I'm coming over there.
In Battlefield 1, if you're in your down screen, it would show you how far a medic is from you and like the distance.
Yeah. This one doesn't do that.
Yeah.
Visual things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just tighten it up. Go ahead.
And finally, you said apples to oranges. Some fruit metaphor. Halo Infinite, right? It's a game that's coming out. It's a shooter, and obviously gonna have similar audiences. Call me biased, but I had way more fun with Halo Infinite than Battlefield.
Right.
I'm gonna definitely gravitate towards that.
Yeah, and I think that's where you
also because it's free.
Right, you run into the tough thing. That's why I said they got to consider their releases. I know we're getting long on this one, but I do feel it's important to know, like, hey, why not do like a staggered Game Pass release or something to boost your player base? Because you have so much competition for arguably a more exciting prospect on the Halo part, which is free. So now, this doesn't even take into account Vanguard. Go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, I was going to ask you guys, like, how do you guys feel with this upcoming fall, how we're going to have a new Call of Duty, we're going to have Halo Infinite, and we're going to have, like, Battlefield. I believe it's sandwiched between the two. And obviously Call of Duty also has Warzone, which is free to play. And Halo's multiplayer is gonna be free to play as well. How do you guys think Battlefield is gonna fare against that? Being a full $70 for multiplayer only.
I haven't played the Vanguard beta, so that's on you, Steven.
I can say definitively, I hate the Vanguard controls.
Whoa.
It just is not good, man. It does not. I wasn't excited by it, man. I played like 4 or 5 matches of the multiplayer beta thing, and I was not impressed. Also, it just kind of feels weird to go back to World War II guns, man. Like, again, after being impressed by Modern Warfare's guns and being used to all like the niceties, I guess, and maybe that's why it felt not as good, right? These are older guns; they operate clunkier. I get that. But then you have that weird thing where you're going back to World War II again. I already wasn't excited about that, and so maybe I'm biased. I'm sure there are people who loved World War II, but that's not me. So I don't know. And I think they're retreading old water. It's kind of looking real good for Halo right now in my mind, and not so great for the other two. So I'll take it. Yes. I will take it. It's about damn time.
Yeah.
And never mind the whole muddy bullshit that Activision's in. That is affecting. I do think that puts a lens on things for people. I know we went long, so I'm just gonna nix the clever transition I had. Sora in Smash, all right? Eric, let's break it down. I'm gonna switch over. Give me like 2 seconds to pull the video up here. And
Eric, this is your spotlight. Go ham.
Right here, we have an announcement.
So from now on, quick thing, this is now the Kingdom Hearts podcast. This is what you all tuned in for. Tune in next week for our Kingdom Hearts in review, where we do all the series, because we're all going to play them all this week, right, guys?
Oh, yeah, man. Just listen for our review in 7 years.
Gav doesn't look happy with that joke.
For real, though, like, okay, so we have Sora in Smash, and for audio listeners, if you haven't checked out the video, we have the announcement video playing, and they're just doing like the little figurines, right, as they typically do.
Yeah. So Sakurai, that whole Sakurai Presents was a trip, man. Because first of all, he starts off with the Mii costumes to get those out of the way, and you're like, okay, who gets deconfirmed here? Little do you know, Doom Guy out the picture.
Yeah.
But
that was cool.
Yeah, like. This trailer, then he's like, okay, well, let's get into the trailer. So you see here, like, all the characters with the trophies and stuff, and you're like, oh my god. So can you pause the video real quick?
Yeah. Let me get that.
I just want to like explain my thoughts before we go into like the actual reveal.
Yeah.
So like the entire thing was like going on, and like already it was like pretty emotional because it's already the last Smash character. This is like years of development work about to end right here. Sakurai put in like his heart and soul into this, and his team, of course. I can't just give it to Sakurai. His team also 100% like, working on that. And it's just like, it's so emotional because it all started with that Smash trailer we saw in 2019 with Inkling looking at the fire. And so like the trailer starts off the same way, and it's like it's so beautiful. And like going from that to everyone is here to getting crazy reveals like Sephiroth, Banjo, fucking Ridley, DDD, or not DDD, King K. Rool, who else was it? Like just a lot of Joker in the day before the game comes out, like that same night. Like it's been a wild ride with Smash Brothers, and then just this trailer like was already getting me pretty emotional, being like, damn, this is really it, huh? But then now you can start to playing again.
All right, here we go. It's Mario grabbing.
Then like the light happened, everyone like you see the fire, and everyone's like, "Oh, the Dark Souls." But then he throws it, and then you see the keychain here, and then me and the collective internet just starts freaking the fuck out because even though we all wanted Sora, it's like a thing where we're like, oh man, it's not gonna happen. Disney's never gonna let it happen. That's so much legal shit they have to go through to get it. But then the keychain, and then the beam of light summoning Sora, and then the fucking music, man. And you just
let me
see
get
it.
a little bit for audio listeners real quick.
I'm getting kind of emotional right now just thinking about it because, damn, like,
let me
I was telling you guys in the Discord, I freaked out and I was fucking shaking and crying just seeing this happen because I was like, oh my god, it's finally happening. Fucking Sora in Smash, like I can't fucking believe what I'm witnessing right now.
And it's just
like, go ahead.
I don't know. These were on like the joke rosters that you had, right? Like you're always like the dream rosters, of course. And for this to finally happen, man, for sure. So many people, I love Kingdom Hearts. And so that's where I'm coming from, the excitement, right? I kind of fell out Smash a little bit, but this maybe get me back in, man. Like, we'll see.
Yeah, because
the music,
Sora was a character that everyone wanted for years, ever since like I'm pretty sure Melee, and like we all thought he became a meme character at this point. Like every time a Smash announcement would happen, everyone was like, "Oh yeah, it's Sora, right?" And then it happens, and it's not Sora. Next one, Sora, right? Next one never happens. Like at this point, it was like it's one of those characters like where you really want, but you never think it's gonna happen. He became like almost like Goku at that point because Goku's never gonna fucking happen. He's not a video game character. Like if there's any rules in Smash, it has to be that the character originated from a video game. And like I never thought it would actually happen because, like I said earlier, Disney was like the main holdup.
And like, he mentions right here, sorry, real quick, the name of the company, right? Being his name. I didn't notice that before. That was just hilarious.
Yeah, Sakurai's company is Sora Limited, and like it's such. There's so much thing about this announcement that's so fucking beautiful. Like you said, like Sora Limited is the fucking Sakurai's company. Sora's name in Japanese means sky, and like just so much different shit here, and like seeing Sakurai just talk about it, like it brought me so much joy. And like if you look at reactions online, there's people screaming, there's other people fucking crying as well. Like my two favorite ones are Good Vibes Gaming, because I don't know if you guys ever know about them. They're ex-Game Explain guys, and literally they're doing the announcement, and there was about I think 5 of them there. Well, like literally one of them when Mario's grabbing the fire, he literally says like, "Yeah, Ash," who's like the biggest Kingdom Hearts fan there. He's like, "Yeah, Ash, I don't think this is Sora at all." And Ash is all like, "Yeah, I don't think so either, but this is still gonna be great." And then we see the keychain, and Ash freaks the fuck out. So can you pause the video here too as well? Like this, I think this is important to note out. I'll get to it in a minute, but
yeah,
Ash freaks the fuck out, and he's screaming in his apartment. And I'm like there with him, like holy he's like, "Holy shit, it's fucking happening! Holy shit!" And I'm like, "Yeah," I'm like, "What the fuck? This is actually happening." And then another reaction I want to call out real quick, Roger's base. Oh my god, he does like one of the best Nintendo reactions ever. Like out of all of them, like he screams, he gets so excited for everything. Like his enthusiasm is like really great. And like he was screaming like
usually, like all freaking out like little kids. And I think that's what's really powerful about this, man. Like just the amount of collaboration and fan service that's been doled out over the years for this game is truly incredible, man.
Yeah, and then in here in the video, Sakurai mentions that when they did the Smash ballot 6 years ago for 3DS and Wii U, he mentions, so you can keep playing the video now, he mentions that Sora was the number one pick overall, and like it just shows to you like Sora, and it happened when Iwata was still alive too, and like the only reason they didn't show the results back then was because they didn't want people like harassing companies for like. Because if the character wasn't in, people will go to the companies and be like, "Why didn't you let this character in?" And like he says here, like Sora took a lot of cooperation to get involved. Like this has been years in the making.
Yeah.
And so like the fact that Sora is number one is so poetic because he's number one in the ballot, and he's the final fighter that we're fucking getting. Like. Just to say like this is fucking poetic and like this is fucking excitement is an understatement because like goddamn, like I'm just in fucking awe like Sakurai just said right now, like I can't fucking believe this happened, man. Like I'm fucking, oh my god, like this is Sora was my number one character that I never thought would get in.
I want that poster.
Did. And then and like he based them off Kingdom Hearts Sora. I think Gaff is having tech problems, unfortunately. Hopefully he can get back in here soon.
Yeah.
But I'm just looking through this article right now by KH13 by shout out to Orpheus Joshua. He has like the rundown of all the announcements here.
Yeah.
Obviously this Sora is based off Kingdom Hearts 1 Sora, but if you continue the video like a couple minutes in, he also has like his Kingdom Hearts 2 outfit, his Kingdom Hearts 3D outfit, his Kingdom Hearts 3 outfit, and then his Timeless River outfit from Kingdom Hearts 2. And like there's just Sakurai put so much love into his character. And I'm fucking here for it, man. So yeah, welcome back after some technical difficulties. But I was mostly just saying, like, if Sora wasn't the final Smash character, who should it have been? Because I've seen some people on the internet be like, "Oh man, Sora is like the easy pick," and I'm like, "But was he really?" Because I feel like maybe Master Chief or Crash or like Ryu Hayabusa from Ninja Gaiden would be this easier pick, to be honest. Like, and like I feel like Sora is the perfect end to Smash Ultimate because obviously Sakurai said he's the most wanted character in the ballot, and like even in like the fan ballots that people do like on Twitter every now and then, Sora is consistently number one for USA and Japan, and then Europe is number two. And I feel like if you did Crash or Master Chief, I feel like the Japanese market doesn't really care about those two characters. And like I feel like Sora is like the overall fan favorite character worldwide to get added into Smash, you know?
I think.
Yeah, go ahead, Gaff. No, go ahead.
I agree that Sora is the best of both worlds because Kingdom Hearts, like in and of itself, is a whole Japanese game with a lot of Western elements in it, and by elements I mean like literal Disney characters and
And
so
Sam, can you
on.
pause right there real quick? Just the renders go back.
Yeah. Let me go back just a few seconds here. There, right?
You can leave it there. It was a couple seconds ahead, but it's fine. Go ahead, Gaff.
So yeah, if you really want a celebration in gaming and make like Smashes both audiences like super happy, then Sora is definitely the correct choice, I would say. No matter how much you want Master Chief or the Tetris block, I think this was a good decision, especially because Kingdom Hearts is more of a kid-friendly franchise versus Master Chief, so it's more realistic. Despite all like the hurdles that that Sakurai had to overcome to get him in this game.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's impressive, right? And you did it, you madman.
Yeah.
So much licensing things.
Yeah, licensing hell. Obviously, there's no Disney representation in here. The only thing is the keychain on Sora's Keyblade is the only thing Disney here. But like, if you look at the trademark, it does mention Disney in there, so there is that. But like, I don't know how far. I don't want to really go into his moveset because that's going to be a lot to go over. But I want you to like to go ahead when he's showing off the stage because the stage is so fucking perfect, man. And like the costumes here, I love the fucking renders. Like, I love how he got all the like the different outfit changes for Sora. That's like, if it was just basic recolors, I would have been disappointed. But I love that he has each game's individual outfits. And then he has so you can just pause here. Well, I'll get to it. Then he has the Timeless River, which I guess that would be a Disney representation because that's a Steamboat Willie kind of callback. And then he has like Valor Form and Wisdom Form from Kingdom Hearts 2, which I feel like are a nod to Donald and Goofy because for those who don't play Kingdom Hearts, in Kingdom Hearts 2, Sora can like augment his abilities by using his friend's power. So Valor Form, he would like use Goofy's power, and then to like be more melee focused. And then Wisdom Form, he would use Donald's power to be more magic focused. So that's a little callback there. I like. And then he had his ultimate form from Kingdom Hearts 3, which is basically like in Kingdom Hearts 3, instead of using his friend's powers, his Keyblades transform. And the best Keyblade in the game, the ultimate weapon, is what causes the ultimate form, and holy shit, is that form fucking broken, and I fucking love it. But anyways, enough about the costumes and stuff. The stage, fucking perfect. Like this is I'm also hearing a little bit of echo from you, Sam, or not Sam, Steven.
Okay.
Yeah, like Hollow Bastion, I'm still hearing it.
A tiny bit of echo.
Yeah. Anyways, Hollow Bastion is the fucking perfect stage to put because it's a central like area and world in Kingdom Hearts where in Kingdom Hearts 1 it kind of serves as like the second to last dungeon where a lot of the like stuff begins to like ramp up, but like a lot of this that's like it kind of signifies the start of the end game. And a lot of shit happens here, and like Sakurai says here, it was really difficult in that in Kingdom Hearts 1. But then it comes back in Kingdom Hearts 2 as Radiant Garden because that's how it was originally, and it's like it kind of serves as like the hub area. So you want to pause it here real quick?
Yeah.
Again, sorry. Just a lot of pauses. And I want to detail a lot of this stuff here. And so Hollow Bastion, it serves as like a hub area in Kingdom Hearts 2. It's like a place you'll constantly go back to, because when the story demands it and stuff like that. So there's that. And then he was like going deep into lore because it used to be called Radiant Garden in Burst by Sleep, which is the prequel. And then it got taken over by the darkness and became Hollow Bastion, which Maleficent and the Disney bad guys use and stuff in Kingdom Hearts 1. And then the Final Fantasy characters started to rebuild it into Radiant Garden in Kingdom Hearts 2 and stuff like that. So it's a very important place in Kingdom Hearts lore. But then the fucking best part about the stage is that it transforms. Like I think he said, like when the match is like at the final stock or something like that, it transforms to the fucking best shit. The dive to the heart areas in the Kingdom Hearts series. So yeah, if you keep playing now, the dive to the heart is basically like tutorial areas in Kingdom Hearts, but like they're like basically like the inside of like your heart in Kingdom Hearts, where it kind of shows like your deepest hearts, like your heart's like deepest. What's the word I'm looking for? Like the pure. I don't know how to explain. Like if it was like Psychonauts, it would be like what your heart represents, basically. So they have one for like each of the main characters here, and I fucking love it because obviously in Sora's one, in the original games, Donald the Goofy is there, and they had to replace it in here because there's no Disney stuff. But
yeah,
in here it's just the best callback because every main character has like their own like stained glass kind of background, and it's fucking great. And like in Kingdom Hearts 1, it's the tutorial area where you're fighting in Sora's Dive to the Heart, and you have a boss fight there, and it ends there, and it's fucking great. One of the final bosses in in Burst by Sleep takes place in there. It's just fucking great. Like, I love so much about this. I love Sakurai for doing all the work in here. I love it. Sakurai, you're a fucking madman.
Indeed.
And then a little bit more I want to point out, like the smallest fucking details he has. Like I don't know where, if you go forward in, like he's playing a match, and like at the match end, and hopefully you can find it. And yeah, if you just scroll a bit more, like towards like the end of the match, basically, where okay, a little more, yeah. So first of all, right here, the slowdown. That's a fucking Kingdom Hearts reference because when you defeat a boss, like the entire game slows down. There's like the little sound effect it does there, and like the screen goes white. I fucking love that detail, man.
The fact that they managed to like alter the gameplay there, right? Like,
yeah. And they did it before with a couple other characters. Sure, like Joker, if you finish the game with his final smash, it doesn't do the victory run he does. It just does it on the all-out attack ending, and it's fucking great. I also love here that he fucking did these Cloud and Sephiroth when he was fighting them, because they're in Kingdom Hearts as well. And Sephiroth is a fucking like super boss in that game. It's so fucking great. And then the song list here, it's okay, I guess. I kind of feel like I feel like the reason we don't get much tracks and not a remake is because of licensing issues.
So, what songs would you have wanted then?
So, looking at the list here, this is all Kingdom Hearts 1 songs. And I would have loved stuff from like Kingdom Hearts 2 and like later on, because there's a lot of banging tracks in the later games. Like in Chain of Memories, there's Lord of the Castle. In 358 Days, there's Vector to the Heavens. Like, there's just so much I can fucking list off. It's ridiculous. Like, maybe one of the Kingdom Hearts... Roxas' theme, obviously, when you're fighting him in Kingdom Hearts 2. Just so much shit I would have liked. But I just attribute that to licensing issues because... a little off from Smash here. The reason the Kingdom Hearts games, they weren't on a digital release until the remasters on PS4, surprisingly, like you could not get that game digitally until it came to PS4, and I figured that was licensing issues due to the main song, Simple and Clean, because
Right.
there was just licensing issues with that song for the longest time, and now that I feel like they finally got around to that, thankfully. So, but I feel like there's still issues with that since it's not even in Smash at all. So even though we did get Sora, there's still some stuff that we couldn't get, But I'm still happy with it. I'm not really like, oh man, I'm fucking mad that they half-assed Sora. Like, no, I'm fucking happy with this shit, man.
Now, how do you feel about that song you can get if you have save data in that Kingdom Hearts rhythm game?
I didn't have the rhythm game till now. I fucking bought it just for that.
Oh my god!
I didn't because I was like, well, I didn't buy
know,
the
right?
rhythm game. I was like, well, might as well get it fucking now. I will fucking get it, man.
Now you're gonna play through it is the real question.
I am playing through it actually.
Yeah. It knows no bounds.
Because from what I heard, that game was just like a recap game where it recaps the stuff that happens. Like only the ending's important. So I looked at the ending and I was like, okay. But then they were like, hey, save data, buy that shit, and I'm like, sold. And I bet that was a Square Enix thing too, to be honest.
It must have been. You're like, sell them on this game. Upsell.
Upsell. So, and then one more thing. Just go to the very end of the trailer, the video, where the shot of Sora and Mario shaking hands.
Where is it?
It's like towards the very end, because they did an extended trailer.
That is a goat tier.
Is it right here?
I think you can play it from here. Yeah, right here. You can play it from here.
Okay.
And I love this shot because it represents that Sora's traveling through the worlds like he does in Kingdom Hearts. Man.
Yeah, that was super cool cut. I love that cut.
And then right here, pause it right there. Go back.
Wait. Yeah, let's get that. Let's frame that a little bit. Wait, did it? Okay, let me see if I can get it the second time here. That was quick. It was a quick thing.
Yeah.
Wait.
A little more. Right okay, there. That's the fucking money shot of the trailer right there, man.
Dude, look at that. Can I get a poster of that? Man.
Money shot of the year.
Like, I know we're going long on the Kingdom Hearts stuff, but like...
I figured as much.
If you told me years ago, like, oh yeah, Smash Bros. Is going to have Sora from Kingdom Hearts, it's going to have fucking...
Steve from Minecraft.
It's gonna have Banjo-Kazooie. It's gonna have fucking Sephiroth. I would have been like, "You're fucking crazy."
Sonic the Hedgehog. Like,
yeah, exactly. I'd have been like, "You're crazy. Get the fuck out of here." But like, no, this shot right here represents Smash as a whole, and it's just the perfect send off to Ultimate.
Like, when you think about it, Sora represents Disney and all that baggage. And you have him shaking hands with Mario, who is the face of Nintendo. Disney and Nintendo.
Nintendo is the Disney of video games, basically.
Yeah.
That's almost... Ask any person you know. 2 out of 3 times their childhood would include Disney and Nintendo. So that is massive. Those are 2 empires colliding.
But yeah.
Wow.
Before I move on to there is more Kingdom Hearts after this, but before I move on to that, Smash Brothers, where does it go from here now?
Ports,
yeah.
But ports, yes, obviously, but you can't top Ultimate. What do they do for the next new Smash Brothers game?
Here's the thing.
Do they have a new one?
I don't think they do.
And see, but
I feel like they do.
I feel like it's one of Nintendo's biggest franchises, and I feel like the next one has to be a reboot of something. A reimagining something, because they can't top Ultimate. They're not going to do this again. All those rights are going to be hard to get back.
Maybe a whole new cast. Maybe they do a whole Dark Knight gritty reboot and just... make Mortal Kombat.
Man, it's gonna be tough. But I feel like the next Smash game is gonna be years from now, though, because
yeah,
I feel like the gap from Smash 4 to Ultimate was kind of short, but from Melee to Brawl was long, and from Brawl to Smash 4 was long. I feel like it's gonna be a while till we see a new Smash for this game.
It's gonna be the new Mario Kart 8, where I can't see legitimately a new Mario Kart for a long time. I can't see another Smash for a very, very long time.
Yeah, and like I kind of hope they put out like a Smash Brothers Ultimate bundle where it's like all bundled in the cart, because I don't want these DLC characters digitally. I want these physically, because when that Nintendo eShop for the Switch eventually goes down in years, I want that preserved. I want Sora and Smash preserved. I want fucking Sephiroth, Banjo, Steve. I want all that preserved, man.
Maybe with the Switch Pro eventually, or the next iteration, they'll do an up-resing or whatever, and they'll include all the DLC, and you'll pay $60 for it again.
Yeah.
For sure. But I'm just gonna blow through the rest of this, because I know I've been talking about this for the longest time.
You still have Metroid Dread to talk about.
I know.
Yeah, I know. But weirdly enough, in the present, Sakurai dropped the announcement like, "Hey, the Kingdom Hearts games are coming to Nintendo Switch," and I was like, "Oh shit, really?" But then there was the caveat of it being the cloud versions only, and I thought during the presentation, I was like, "Oh, that's just Kingdom Hearts 3, right?" Nope, it's all of them. So then, just real quick, Steven's gonna play this quick, like 2-minute trailer for the Kingdom Hearts, related to Kingdom Hearts. After the Sakurai Presents, Square Enix put out a trailer stating that, hey, the Kingdom Hearts 20th anniversary is here, and like I found it so fitting that they waited till Smash, because Sora in Smash was the first announcement of the 20th anniversary. Like, it's so fucking beautiful. But like, yeah, so they put in the Kingdom Hearts games are coming to Switch, cloud version. Kingdom Hearts Dark Road, which is a mobile game, it's ending this winter, so I'm gonna be playing that, because they're gonna release it all. Because what they did is they stopped developing it around, like, I think it was like May or March, one of the two. They stopped adding stuff to it, so they're just gonna finish the whole game. And hopefully it's not like a fucking, like, one update worth. I'm feeling like it's gonna be like a longer, like more like mobile game links kind of update. They're gonna drop that all at once, and it's gonna be single player only. It's not gonna have like any gacha shit like the past mobile game did.
Right.
And they also stated like they're gonna have more stuff coming out soon for the 20th anniversary. They also have some merchandise going on here. But yeah. Also, I fucking realized, like, a lot of anniversaries happening, too. Like, we have Persona's 25th, we have Kingdom Hearts, we have fucking Xboxes coming up. I know there's a lot more than that, too, but it's like, damn, year of anniversaries, man.
It is. Nostalgia is definitely in play here for this year.
Yeah.
The year 2001 was a big year for...
Can you pause here real quick at the 20th anniversary logo? I can't fucking believe it's the 20th fucking anniversary. I remember when it was the fucking 15th anniversary with the 3DS game. I'm just like, what? The 20th anniversary already? What the fuck?
Yeah. Honestly, I didn't. You know, when you're a kid, you're like, man, I hope I live to be this old to see this, right?
Yeah.
I didn't think I would ever see this, or that this would even be a thing. Like,
I was like that. I was like, man, I hope, like, this is like a weirdly morbid thing, but I'm like, man, I have to live for Kingdom Hearts 3. I have to see that finish.
Mm-hmm. Did it live up to it?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's the best in the series, but like, I'm still looking. Like, I was talking about it at Sam yesterday after we finished Halo Explorer, but like, I was like, before Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna probably hop off of Kingdom Hearts 3, or off of Kingdom Hearts once 3 is out. But no. They arguably more questions than answers, and I'm like, shit, Nomura, you got me in your fucking wild ride.
Yeah. Yeah, that's hard to say. I don't know where they would go from there, but this is really cool. Like, to see this kind of anniversary. This is the 20th for this, and the 20th for Xbox, correct?
Yeah.
I believe so. Yeah, right. That would make
And
so,
crazy, and therefore also Halo.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wait.
But
what?
I just want to fucking call this out. Come on, why fucking cloud versions, man? No. I would have fucking bought these games over if they weren't cloud versions.
Are they? Well, it's a lazy port. That's what it is.
And like I was listening to a podcast yesterday who actually has an actual like developer on it, and like so the Kingdom Hearts remasters has like a weird story because when they remade it for PS3, they lost the source code for Kingdom Hearts 2 originally, so they had to remake the entire game over again. I believe instead of PS2 versions, they're now PS3 versions, which the remakes are, which is weird. And then the PS4 versions didn't immediately come to PS4. They took a while for them to come out. Like, I believe they were the last things to be released before Kingdom Hearts 3. And then I believe Xbox paid for the Xbox ports.
So the only development, that's why they're there?
Yeah, so the only thing I can think of is that either Nintendo didn't want to pay them for this, or Square did want to do native ports, but it might have just taken too long too long, and they probably wouldn't have made as much money off of it, because you can get the entire Kingdom Hearts saga for $20 on PS4 at this point. So I feel like they probably would have sold this for full price on Switch, and people would be like, why would I buy it on Switch if I can get it for cheaper on PS4, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, well, portable, right?
Yeah, exactly. Nintendo fans will buy 3 Mario games for $80 when we can get it for free on any PC.
Yeah. But man, like the high in the Kingdom Hearts fucking Smash, and then the low for the cloud versions. Like, Square Enix, come on. The Final Fantasy Pixel remasters, and now this, like, come on, man.
They're not on the right track in terms of that. I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a different discussion entirely, but I just don't think that they. Do they think that that's an acceptable port? Is my question, right? Like.
Yeah, I feel like.
Because all they had to do here, and I don't develop games, but it seems like all they would have to do here is give access to a cloud server to play off of some PC hardware, I'm sure. Like, and granted, that's probably more tech and involvement than I would realize, but I still feel it's much more lazy than actually porting it to the Switch.
Yeah, I feel like they could have done it if they wanted to, because we have Witcher 3, we have fucking Doom Eternal,
right?
We have Skyrim, we have all those games natively on the Switch. So I just think it's a thing of not lazy devs, but a cheap publisher.
Ready for this one, Eric? Maybe they were dreading development. And on that end, let's go over to Metroid Dread impressions.
I know I went over Kingdom Hearts a lot, but if Sam was here to bounce off on me, it would have been probably a lot better and shorter, but like, I just fucking love, like I said, Persona 5 is my favorite game, but Kingdom Hearts is my favorite series. I grew up with that series, man. But
Metroid.
Yeah, let me get a breather. I just had all that fucking energy.
I know, right? Let me map for you. So Metroid, I am really excited about this. I can't wait to play it, man. From everything that I've seen, it seems like another Super Metroid, right? Like, why break the formula? Tell us about what's different, I guess, first, maybe.
Yeah. So I finished it just before the podcast recorded, and I want to show you my completion data, I guess, here. Let me just boot it up real quick, because I have it here just for that purpose. So it says here that over here, maybe right there we go. So I finished with about 8 hours and 13 minutes with about 56% of the items completed. Now there's a catch to that completion time, because from what I'm hearing on the internet, it only counts actual gameplay. So it doesn't count when you're in the menus, and if you die, it sends you back to the latest checkpoint or save point, and I guess it deletes that save time that you had in between. So
really,
it's a little weird in how they calculate game time. So it says I had it like about 8 hours and 13 minutes. I felt like it was longer than that. I felt like it was more like about 10 hours, maybe around there that I had.
Yeah.
Just a heads up. Sorry, for audio listeners, we've got some gameplay going on while you're talking here too.
Yeah, but so there's only one criticism I have of the game, and that is that the map feels a little like when you're looking at it, it feels a little cluttered. Like I'm gonna load into here now in like just the first area. It's not gonna be really spoilers or nothing. I'm gonna show you like how the map looks, cause like it while it's loading up and doing that, I do feel like that this is map wise, this is like the biggest Metroid game since Super Metroid, and it feels huge, and it's not at all linear like how Metroid Fusion was, how Zero Mission was, how Samus Return was. Like you're gonna be bouncing around from the different areas a lot, and like there are no waypoints whatsoever besides one you can mark down on your own map. The game does not tell you at all where to go. It does not hold your hand at all, and I actually like that.
I hate that.
No, I will admit there was like 2 points where I got lost. I'd be like, huh, where the heck do I gotta go? But then you kind of like figure out like where like how it works and stuff. Like you gradually get your upgrades. I do feel like there are some points where you do get upgrades like pretty quickly in between each other. So let me see. Like okay, so I'm just gonna look at this map here. This looks pretty big, and this is just the first area.
Oh wow!
This is just it's like very complicated. Oh, my Joy-Cons are drifting upwards. What a surprise! But I feel like the icons are kind of like really. So you can just see there's like a lot. I'm zooming in a bit right here.
Yeah,
there's like a lot of different icons. There's like icons for the items you can find. There's like teleport locations. There's save point locations. I feel like I feel like if you got an item, it should just be off the map. What it does is that once you get the item, the icon's still on the map, but just slightly faded out. But I feel like sometimes it's not as faded out as it should be, because it still looks very similar to an icon of an item that you haven't gotten yet. And so that's really my only criticism, is that the map does feel a little cluttered. So it does feel like a little hard to figure out what items you are missing and where you have to go. But other than
this
that,
is similar to other Metroids, correct?
What do you mean by that? Like,
the map layout is very, very reminiscent of all the other ones. So, but as far as like the icons, did they go away in the previous ones when you got them?
So they didn't go away, but from what I think in Super Metroid at least, and in Fusion I recall correctly, the icons were just like dots on the map.
Yeah.
And then when you got them, they were like hollowed out dots. So it was more distinct. It was like, okay, that dot is hollowed out. That means I already got that. Mm-hmm. They weren't huge icons on the map. And like obviously the map here, it tells you exactly what the item is. Like, oh, it's a missile tank. In Super Metroid and the other games, it didn't tell you exactly what the item was, you know?
Yeah. It makes it hard to get that 100% really when you're going to like find all the secrets and hidden items to get, which is what I like to do. I like to do the 100% runs because I'm a madman. Yeah. But it always made it really difficult to keep track of which one I got where, and even in the older ones, it made it harder, like I'm saying. But so that theme's even more frustrating, though.
Yeah, but it's not really. I mean, you can get used to it eventually. It's just that when you're starting off, it does feel a bit overwhelming. Like you're like, you're just like, okay, where do I have to go? Because you do see the doors and stuff on the map too. You see like the special doors, like, oh, I need this item so I can open this door. You do see that on the map, and like when you're trying to look up where to go, it does get a little confusing when you have all those icons there. Like I wish there was like an option to filter them out.
I'm gonna try to find another thing of the map here.
Because if you hover over an icon, you can like highlight it, and like it'll highlight the rest of them too. But it's still like a little weird because it doesn't filter out the rest of the icon. So there's that. But other than that, like control wise, like the controls they are fine. They are precise. They feel crisp is the word I'm looking for. They are so. Samus moves so like fluid, it's ridiculous. Like you can go from a charge shot into a somersault flip, into a slide, into a counter, so easily. And like, little bit of spoilers, I guess, but like at the start you don't have the morph ball, so you go. The only way to get under surfaces is to slide, and so. But when later on you get the morph ball, you can slide into morph ball, and it's like so smooth and like it keeps up your momentum, and it feels so good, man. Like you saw there in the video, like she just did a slide,
Mm-hmm.
and like wall jumping is a lot easier to do in this game than like past Metroids, especially Super Metroid. Like wall jumping in Super Metroid was like a thing that was like a pro move. In this game, it's just super easy to pull off, real easy.
Now
The only downside to that is that you can't wall jump off the same wall back to back, so you have to bounce from wall to wall.
Yeah, this game looks great, man.
Oh, it's great, yeah.
You want to talk about the graphics a little bit versus like maybe the last entry, Samus Returns, right?
Yeah, so obviously from going from 3DS to Switch, big improvement. Because like, you know, the Switch or the 3DS was like a small 240p handle, I believe. I don't remember the exact resolution. But I don't know the exact resolution this game is running at.
It's
but
1600 by 900p.
Is that for Dread?
For Dread.
Okay, that's not too bad. The frame rate is mostly smooth most of the time. There have been a few drops, but nothing game breaking. It's only like when like a lot of effects are happening at once. It does hitch a bit during the loading screens, but that doesn't affect gameplay really. Trying to think what else I can talk about gameplay wise. I guess a downside would be is that you can't remap controls, so accessibility wise it would kind of suck. But you can remap it on the Switch home screen natively, I guess, but oh man, that's like hard thing to balance, you know, because that's something like I wouldn't really know too much about because I usually just stick to default controls for most games. Is there anything else you want me to talk about? Obviously,
how hard is it?
And how hard it is, yeah.
Okay, so soundtrack, not really too many memorable tracks. Samus's theme is like the one where I'm like, oh shit, yeah, this is the best one. Like if you guys watched the Kinda Funny review, I do agree with Timur. The soundtrack really isn't the strongest suit. It's forgettable.
Dang.
Not really too much there.
Yeah.
But the sound design for like when Samus is like shooting to like the noises she does, it's great. Recommend playing with headphones will be for sure. Difficulty. This game will kick your ass. For sure. I do think this is the hardest Metroid game.
I like to hear that.
So regular enemies are fine. It's the bosses and the Emmys that'll kick your asses, because the Emmys, like the robots, you know, you gotta run from them. You cannot fight them until a specific point, and even then, they are still a threat.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if they catch you, there is a very, very difficult small chance window of being able to counter them to get let free. But they change up that timing every so often, and so you really cannot consistently get the timing for that. So that ad you saw there. But yeah, if you are fighting an Emmy, you gotta run. And like they're not scary, but it's fucking tense. Where like there was a moment where I was running from them, and like a little bit of spoilers. I think they showed this in the trailers. You get like a cloaking ability where if you use it, they can't see you. There was a moment where I was running for my fucking life, and my energy for the cloaking ability was not full yet, and you can only use abilities when they're full. And like at the last second, it became full, and I evaded the Emmy because it was like literally a hair inch next to me, and I was like, oh my god. I was like, fuck. My heart was like, oh fuck, man.
Here, I think I have like a small video reference of that real quick.
Yeah, so what we see here, this is the first enemy. This one's kind of scripted. Like, you're going to kill this one easily. but the other ones, they are no pushover. You gotta be on top of it, and like the Emmys, they're only in like specific areas, and like the areas, they're actually pretty bigger than I thought they would have been. Because when they said areas, I thought they would be just like, oh, one big room, but it's actually like multiple rooms with like different paths each. And like the Emmys, their AI, not gonna lie, is pretty good sometimes because there was one part I remember where I went through a door and like I thought it would like go through the same door I did, but instead it went around another door to try to get behind me, and I wasn't expecting it, and it caught me. I was like, oh shit, this thing actually fucking became smart and like caught me.
Yeah.
So there's that.
So you could run into a dead end and it would get you because you weren't familiar.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so overall take, if you had to give it like a rating, one versus the other ones, and then maybe out of 5, we'll say 5 being the worst. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So 5. So it's not like 5 out of 5. Where
well, if you want to do 5 out of 5, either way.
I thought you meant like rating, like 9 out of 10 or something like that. Because I would say I would say it's up there, 9.75 out of 10. I think because I think if the map and the music were better, then that would get that perfect 10. Because this game is fucking good. I do think. Oh man, I don't know. Like, I feel like if you're nostalgic for Super Metroid, then Super Metroid would be better. But I think these two are tied for top 2 for sure.
Dude, that makes me excited to play it. Honestly,
Dread is really good, and I feel like, the game doesn't hold your hand at all, and I feel like, man, I don't know if it was me or not, but I got the Various suit really early on, and I was like, huh. Kind of weird that I got it this early because it's normally like a more midway kind of suit you get. And I'm like, did I sequence break? I don't know because the game doesn't hold your hand. I'm like, I don't know if I was supposed to get it this early or not.
Yeah.
But if so, that's fucking still pretty cool. And then I saw ways that people were fighting bosses, and like one of the first bosses in the game, you can almost insta kill if you get the morph ball bombs early. And I didn't know that. I just saw like a video of it today that someone got the bombs early and they killed like the boss like almost immediately, and I was like, holy shit, this game's fucking cool. I didn't have that item when I was fighting that boss. I fought the boss normally.
So you weren't sure if it was supposed to be that way, but I wonder if that's maybe a telling sign of the development for that.
But the thing is, there was a cutscene specifically if you had that item, and it was fucking. I was like, holy shit! They actually thought of it. They actually thought of like, okay, what if these players get the bomb early? Maybe we should have like a little cutscene shown that if they get it early, that we acknowledge that hey, we put that in there.
They didn't have to go to that, and that's pretty cool. That's
very cool. A lot of advanced movements too, like the shine sparking. Like I think it's easier to pull off in here than Super Metroid, but like there are some puzzles where you need shine sparking to be like precise. And I was like looking at them, I was like, holy shit, how the fuck can anyone do this? And I was like looking at videos on like IGN had the toughest puzzles in Metroid Dread, and I was like, how the fuck did they do that? That seems crazy. But and surprisingly, the story in here, like, Metroid's obviously not a story-based game, but like in the beginning, they have like a nice recap video telling you like, hey, like here's the story so far, and then like there was like a couple cutscenes where I'm like, oh shit, this is actually pretty badass, and like the ending cutscene is like when you get to the end, you're gonna be like, holy shit, this actually fucking happened. A lot more story in a Metroid game than I honestly saw.
Yeah, I think it's really surprising to see like this still hold weight, right? And this still being an important franchise for people this far in, and coming from someone who's like started with basically Fusion, right, is where I really got into it. It's really cool to see them finally get to this point after what I think the announcement proper was like over 15 years ago or something, like for this installment.
So Metroid Dread is the first new Metroid game in over like 19 years, not counting remakes like Samus Returns and Zero Mission.
Yeah. For closing, Gaff, are you interested to play this game now that you've heard Eric's thoughts?
I was interested before he even talked about all this. It's like I told you guys, like probably before. There's just so much stuff to buy.
There is,
and I can't afford a 6th game that I want. However, like after talking about Battlefield today with you, I mean, give it like a week or so, I may not buy Battlefield and just buy Metroid instead.
Yeah. Like I was excited for Metroid, but I wasn't expecting to be like enjoying it this much. And like after I beat the game, it was like, hey, you unlocked hard mode, and I was like, that wasn't hard mode? So like I want to go back. I either want to go back and like get a better time or just play through hard mode, because this game was really fun. I like this game. And like because like now, because you know how Metroid games are, like after you played it once, you like know what's going on, so you can like get a faster time and stuff like that.
You feel that drive to go back though. That's cool.
Yeah. I didn't feel it for the other games that I played this year, because I was like, I'm just playing these to lead up to Metroid Dread. But like now that I finished Dread, I want to go back for more. For sure.
Dude, glowing reviews from our pal Eric here. And to close out, we were going to do a topic, but I want to send you guys off with some homework here. So I want you to think about white lies and little things that your parents told you growing up. Say, oh, you make that face, is going to stay there too long, or well, if you step on a crack, you break your mom's back, kind of thing. I want you guys to think about that as we go into the next episode, and how we'll do it. Well, a little bit of homework, and we'll come back with our short answers for the next episode. As to one of our examples here. You listening at home, if you want your examples read on air, for those kind of things, and how they maybe affect your life going forward and your decisions for things. I think it's an interesting concept, but I think we'll save it for next time for homework check-in, and that's going to do it for us this week. I know we went sort of long, but it was a good week for news, I feel like, and some good reviews there. But you can keep up with us, @interact_, all the things going on. I want to plug Halo Explored. It's a series we've been working on. We just finished recording the 3rd episode for Halo 3. It's YouTube only, and Eric's put some amazing work into it. Gaff here is the lore master and walks us through the stories of each one, so you can get kind of caught up before Halo Infinite. We will have one releasing, I believe, on an every other week cadence.
Yes.
Up until the release of Halo Infinite. So be sure to check that out. Look at our socials for all the news on that. And until next time, I've been Steven here with Gaff.
See ya.
And Eric.
Run from it. Dread from it. Metroid still stands.
Run to your nearest game. Have a good weekend and week, everyone. We'll see you next time.